where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the word has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. When thou commandest me to sing, it seems that my heart would break with pride, and I look to thy face, and tears come to my eyes. All that is harsh and dissonant in my life melts into one sweet harmony, and my adoration spreads wings like a glad bird on its flight across the sea. I know thou takest pleasure in my singing. I know that only as a singer I come before thy presence. I touch by the edge of the far-spreading wing of my song thy feet, which I could never aspire to reach. With the joy of singing, I forget myself and call thee friend, who are my Lord. You came down from your throne and stood at my cottage door. I was singing all alone in a corner, and the melody caught your ear. You came down and stood at my cottage door. Masters are many in your hall, and songs are sung there at all hours. But the simple carol of this novice struck at your love. One plaintive little strain mingled with the great music of the world, and with a flower for a prize, you came down and stopped at my cottage door. You always stand alone beyond the stream of my songs. The waves of my tunes wash your feet, but I know not how to reach them. This play of mine with you is a play from afar. It is the pain of separation that melts into melody through my flute. I wait for the time when your boat crosses over to my shore, and you take my flute in your hands. I will utter your name, sitting alone among the shadows of my silent thoughts. I will utter it without words. I will utter it without purpose. For I am like a child that calls its mother 100 times, glad that it can say, Mother. I thought my voyage had come to its end at the last limit of my power, that the path before me was closed, that provisions were exhausted, and the time come to take shelter in a silent obscurity. But I find that thy will knows no end in me. And when the old words die out on the tongue, new melodies break forth from the heart. And where the old tracks are lost, new country is revealed with its wonders. Thou hast made me known to friends whom I knew not. Thou hast given me seats in homes not my own. Thou hast brought the distant near and made a brother of the stranger. I am uneasy at heart when I have to leave my accustomed shelter. I forget that there abides the old in the new, and that there also thou abidest. Through birth and death, in this world or in others, wherever thou leadest me, it is thou, the same, the one companion of my endless life, who ever linkest my heart with bonds of joy to the unfamiliar. When one knows thee, then alien there is none, then no door is shut. Oh, grant me my prayer, that I may never lose the bliss of the touch of the one in the play of many. By all means, they try to hold me secure who love me in this world. But it is otherwise with thy love, which is greater than theirs, and thou keepest me free. Lest I forget them, they never venture to leave me alone. But day passes by after day, and thou art not seen. If I call not thee in my prayers, if I keep not thee in my heart, thy love for me still waits for my love. Your speech is simple, my master, but not theirs who talk of you. I understand the voice of your stars and the silence of your trees. I know that my heart would open like a flower, that my life has filled itself at a hidden fountain. Your songs, like birds from the lonely land of snow, are winging to build their nests in my heart against the warmth of its April, and I am content to wait for the merry season. Let only that little be left of me, whereby I may name thee my all. Let only that little be left of my will, whereby I may feel thee on every side, and come to thee in everything, and offer to thee my love every moment. Let only that little be left of me, whereby I may never hide thee. Let only that little of my fetters be left, whereby I am bound with thy will, and thy purpose is carried out in my life, and that is the fetter of thy love. Life of my life, I shall ever try to keep my body pure, knowing that thy living touch is upon all my limbs. I shall ever try to keep all untruths out from my thoughts, knowing that thou art that truth which has kindled the light of reason in my mind. I shall ever try to drive all evils away from my heart and keep my love in flower, knowing that thou hast thy seat in the inmost shrine of my heart. And it shall be my endeavor to reveal thee in my actions, knowing it is thy power that gives me strength to act. Light, my light, the word-filling light, the eye-kissing light, heart-sweetening light. Ah, the light dances at the center of my life. The light strikes the chords of my love. The sky opens, the wind runs wild, laughter passes over the earth. The butterflies spread their sails on the sea of light. Lilies and jasmines surge up on the crest of the waves of light. The light is shattered into gold on every cloud, and it scatters gems in profusion. Mirth spreads over leaf to leaf, and gladness without measure. The heavens' river has drawn its banks, and the flood of joy is aboard. What music is that in whose measure the world is rocked? We laugh when it beats upon the crest of life. We shrink in terror when it returns into the dark. But the play is the same that comes and goes with the rhythm of the endless music. You hide your treasure in the palm of your hand, and we cry that we are robbed. But open and shut your palm as you will. The gain and loss are the same. At the game, you play with your own self. You lose and win at once. It was only the other day that I came to your earth naked and nameless with a wailing cry. Today the voice is glad, while you, my Lord, stand aside to make room that I may fill my life. Even when I bring you my songs for an offering, I have the secret hope that people will come and love me for that. You love to discover that I love this world where you have brought me. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth in numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and of death, in ebb and in flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this word of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages, dancing in my blood this moment. Listen, my heart, in his flute is the music of the smell of wild flowers, of the glistening leaves and gleaming water, of shadows resonant with bees' wings. The flute steals his smile from my friend's lips and spreads it over my life. Suddenly, the window of my heart flew open this morning, the window that looks out on your heart. I wondered to see that the name by which you know me is written in April leaves and flowers, and I sat silent. The curtain was blown away for a moment between my songs and yours. I found that your morning light was full of my own mute songs unsung. I thought I would learn them at your feet, and I sat silent. Haven't you heard his silent steps? He comes, ever comes. Every moment and every age, every day and every night, he comes, ever comes. Many a song have I sung in many a mood of mind, but all their notes have always proclaimed, he comes, ever comes. In the fragrant days of sunny April, through the forest path, he comes, ever comes. In the rainy gloom of July nights, on the thundering chariot of clouds, he comes, ever comes. In sorrow after sorrow, it is his steps that press upon my heart, and it is the golden touch of his feet that makes my joy to shine. Thou art the sky, and thou art the nest as well. O thou beautiful, there in the nest it is thy love that encloses the soul with colors and sounds and odors. There comes the morning with the golden basket in her right hand, bearing the wreath of beauty silently to crown the earth. And there comes the evening, over the lonely meadows deserted by herds, through trackless paths, carrying cool draughts of peace in her golden pitcher from the western ocean of rest. But there, where spreads the infinite sky for the soul to take her flight in, reigns the stainless white radiance. There is no day nor night, nor form nor color, and never a word. He, it is the innermost one who awakens my being with his deep hidden touches. He, it is who puts his enchantment upon these eyes and joyfully plays on the chords of my heart in varied cadence of pleasure and pain. He, it's who weaves the web of this Maya in advanced hues of gold and silver, blue and green, and lets peep out through the folds of his feet, at whose touch I forget myself. Days come and ages pass, and it is ever he who moves my heart in many a name, in many a guise, in many a rapture of joy and of sorrow. Thy gifts to us mortals fulfill all our needs, and yet run back to thee undiminished. The river has its everyday work to do, and hastens through fields and hamlets, yet its incessant stream winds toward the washing of thy feet. The flower sweetens the air with its perfume, yet its last service is to offer itself to thee. Thy worship doesn't impoverish the word. From the words of the poet, men take what meanings please them, yet their last meaning points to thee. Day after day, O Lord of my life, shall I stand before thee face to face. With folded hands, O Lord of all words, shall I stand before thee face to face. Under thy great sky, in solitude and silence, with humble heart, shall I stand before thee face to face. In this laborious world of thine, tumultuous with toil and struggle, among hurrying crowds, shall I stand before thee face to face. And when my work shall be done in this world, O King of kings, alone and speechless, shall I stand before thee face to face. When it was day, they came into my house and said, We shall only take the smallest room here. They said, We shall help you in the worship of your God and humbly accept only our own share of His grace. And then they took their seat in a corner, and they sat quiet and meek. But in the darkness of night, I find they break into my sacred shrine, strong and turbulent, and snatch with unholy greed the offerings from God's altar. He whom I enclose with my name is weeping in this dungeon. I am ever busy building this wall around, and as this wall goes up in the sky day by day, I lose sight of my true being in its dark shadow. I take pride in this great wall, and I plaster it with dust and sand, lest a least hole should be left in this name. And for all the care I take, I lose sight of my true being. When the heart is hard and parched up, come upon me with a shower of mercy. When the grace is lost from life, come with a burst of song. When tumultuous work raises its din on all sides, shutting me out from beyond, come to me, my Lord of silence, with thy peace and rest. When my beggarly heart sits crouched, shut up in a corner, break open the door, my King, and come with the ceremony of a king. When desire blinds the mind with delusion and dust, O thou Holy One, thou wakeful, come with thy light and thy thunder. That I want thee, only thee, let my heart repeat without end. All desires that distract me day and night are false and empty to the core. As the night keeps hidden in its gloom the petition for the light, even thus in the depth of my unconsciousness rings the cry, I want thee, only thee. This is my prayer to thee, my Lord. Strike, strike at the root of penury in my heart. Give me the strength lightly to bear my joys and sorrows. Give me the strength to make my love fruitful in service. Give me the strength never to disown the poor or bend my knees before insolent mind. Give me the strength to raise my mind high above the daily trifles. Give me the strength to surrender my strength to thy will with love. On many an idle day have I grieved o'er lost time, but it is never lost, my Lord. Thou hast taken every moment of my life in thine own hands. Hidden in the heart of things, thou art nourishing seeds into sprouts, birds into blossoms, and ripening flowers into fruitfulness. I was tired and sleeping on my idle bed, and imagined all work had ceased. In the morning I woke up, and found my garden full with wonders of flowers. Timidly, I cowered in the shadow of safety, but now when the surge of joy carries my heart upon its crest, my heart clings to the cruel rock of its trouble. I sat alone in a corner of my house, thinking it too narrow of any guest. But now, when its door is flung open by an unbidden joy, I find there is room for thee and for all the world. I walked upon tiptoe, careful of my person, perfumed and adorned. But now, when a glad whirlwind has overthrown me in the dust, I laugh and roll on the earth at thy feet like a child. This is my delight, thus to wait and watch at the wayside where shadow chases light and the rain comes in the wake of the summer. Messengers with tidings from unknown skies greet me and speed along the road. My heart is glad within, and the breath of the passing breeze is sweet. From dawn till dusk, I sit here before my door, and I know that of a sudden the happy moment will arrive when I shall see you. In the meanwhile, I smile and sing all alone. In the meanwhile, the air is filling with the perfume of promise. If thou speakest not, I will fill my heart with thy silence and endure it. I will keep still and wait like the night with starry vision and its head bent low with patience. The morning will surely come, the darkness will vanish, and thy voice pour down in golden streams, breaking through the sky. Then thy words will take wing in songs from every one of my bird's nest, and thy melodies will break forth in flowers in all my forest groves. When you hold lamp in the sky, it throws its light on my face, and its shadow falls over you. When I hold the lamp of love in my heart, its light falls on you, and I am left standing behind in the shadow. Maybe there is one house in this city where the gate opens forever this morning at the touch of the sunrise, where the errand of the light is fulfilled. The flowers have opened in hedges and gardens, and maybe there is one heart that has found in them this morning the gift that has been on its voyage from endless time. Time is endless in thy hands, my Lord. There is none to count thy minutes. Days and nights pass, and ages bloom and fade like flowers. Thou knowest how to wait. Thy centuries follow each other, perfecting a small wild flower. We have no time to lose, and having no time, we must scramble our chances. We are too poor to be late. I came out alone on my way to my trials. But who is this that follows me in the silent dark? I move aside to avoid his presence, but I escape him not. He makes the dust rise from the earth with his swagger. He adds his loud voice to every word I utter. He is my own little self, my Lord. He knows no shame. But I am ashamed to come to thy door in his company. In the night of weariness, let me give myself up to sleep without struggle, resting my trust upon Thee. Let me not force my flagging spirit into a poor preparation for Thy worship. It is Thou who draws the veil of night upon the tired eyes of the day to renew its sight in a fresher gladness of awakening. I was not aware of the moment when I first crossed the threshold of this life. What was the power that made me open out into this vast mystery like a bird in the forest at midnight? When in the morning I looked upon the light, I felt in a moment that I was no stranger in this world, that the inscrutable without name and form had taken me in its arms in the form of my own mother. Even so in death, the same unknown will appear as ever known to me, and because I love this life, I know I shall love death as well. The child cries out when from the right breast the mother takes it away, in the very next moment to find in the left one its consolation. When I go from hence, let this be my parting word, that what I have seen is unsurpassable. I have tasted of the hidden honey of this lotus that expands on the ocean of light, and thus am I blessed. Let this be my parting word. In this playhouse of infinite forms, I have had my play, and here have I caught sight of Him that is formless. My whole body and my limbs have thrilled with His touch, who is beyond touch. And if the end comes here, let it come. Let this be my parting word. The time that my journey takes is long, and the way of it long. I came out on the chariot of the first gleam of light, and pursued my voyage through the wilderness of words, leaving my track on many a star and planet. It is the most distant course that comes nearest to thyself, and that training is the most intricate, which leads to the utter simplicity of a tune. The traveler has to knock at every alien door to come to his own, and one has to wander through all the outer worlds to reach the innermost shrine at the end. My eyes strayed far and wide before I shut them and said, "Here art thou." The question and the cry, "Oh, where?" melt into tears of 1,000 streams and deluge the world with the flood of the assurance, "I am." I seem to have loved you in numberless forms, numberless times, in life after life, in age after age, forever. I have had my invitation to this world's festival, and thus my life has been blessed. My eyes have seen and my ears have heard. It was my part at this feast to play upon my instrument, and I have done all I could. Now I ask, has the time come at last when I may go in and see thy face and offer thee my silent salutation? Open the inner door of the shrine, light the candle, and let us meet there in silence before our God.